Mental Push Up Monday, baby. We here. And if this is your first time joining Mental Push Up Mondays, I'd just like to give a big old welcome to you. This blog is all about personal growth and development and about us becoming the best versions of ourselves, because by us doing that, we get to create our best and most authentic life. So again, welcome to you. But let's jump right into it. The title of today's message is the Fab 5 to Conquering Overwhelm. So this message was inspired. This week has been a struggle for yours truly. I had multiple projects, and honestly, I was just freaking out because I was just asking myself, can I do it? When will I do it? How will I do it? And so I just found myself in a place of stuckness, just feeling like, how can I get all this done? Just all these different things coming at me. And so I just had a couple thoughts on how I conquer overwhelm. So I think the first thing that I took away from this overwhelm that I felt was that more than likely, when you feel a sense of overwhelm, it means that more than likely you're leveling up. You're hitting a new level. And so if I think about what I said several months I said I want to get really good at these things. I want to become a master executor. I want to learn to control my time. I want to be a math guru. I want to be really, really organized. So I committed myself to these things. And the thing is that this experience, I can't go back. I'm at a point of no retreat. I cannot return back to where I was before. And so it's literally forcing me to acquire this skill set. And so if we go back to last week, when we talk about our problem being a privilege, this is an opportunity. I need this particular skill set for the next level that I'm hitting. Every level requires a new version of who we are. And so all it means is that I'm just in unfamiliar territory. And it reminded me of when I went to my eye doctor 2 weeks ago and I got my new glasses. So we were trying to figure out my prescription. And if anybody's ever, had their prescription, they say 1 or 2. Trying to figure it out. And so I haven't worn glasses in 6 months. I just been trite. I just been walking around this thing just blind. And so she says to me, when I put this on here, your eye is gonna start freaking out because you haven't been wearing glasses. You're not used to this. And so I'm over here, I'm squinting, trying to tell her the letters. But what it really reminded me is that I'm freaking out because I haven't seen it before. And if we look at vision, I've been walking around blind, but this is it's giving me better vision. But right now it's just a teeny uncomfortable. My eyes just going nuts because it's just not used to. Let that be a reminder to us that if I'm freaking out, I'm overwhelmed, this is just unfamiliar territory. I don't even know this person on this new level. All it means is I'm getting reintroduced to who I really am, that higher level. And so I think the next thing that I did was I did a brain dump. And what a brain dump is, whatever you are feeling, whatever you feeling, whatever you thinking, all you do is you just put a pen to paper. I'm just going to get it out of my head and put it on the paper. And so what that allowed me to see is I was over here freaking out and I thought that I had all this stuff to do and this, that, and the other. But once I put it on paper, I was like, oh, okay, it's really not as bad as I think it is. And I think that also speaks to really awareness, because sometimes we think it's more than what we is, but when we really just look at it, sometimes it's not that bad. Now, this is an added bonus here. Another thing that I found to be helpful with this is doing obsession appointments. And so an obsession appointment is when you set your timer to about 5 to 10 minutes, and you just take those 5 to 10 minutes and you just feel whatever you need to feel. You need to feel sad, you need to feel overwhelmed, you need to freak out, you need to scream. You take those 5 to 10 minutes and you just say, I'm just gonna sit in it. But then after that timer goes off, okay, now what? So after I did my brain dump, I had my session appointment, the next thing I did was I came up with a plan. How am I going to attack this? What am I gonna do? And so what I did was I set aside time. I looked at how long is each task gonna take, what's going on, and then I came up with a plan for last night and also a plan for today. So it's all timed out. And then I think another piece of that, when we talk about planning, is I had to look at I was talking to one of my friends and she said, what's the next best thing? You do not have to have this all figured out, because I think sometimes we get overwhelmed because we look at it like a mountain. I gotta look at all this stuff that I have to do, when really it's just, let me just look at the next best thing. Mount Everest is not climbed in one day. You just take it one step in front of the other. And so what I had to do was kind of prioritize and say, what is the next best thing? Then after I finish that, what's the next best thing? And so it's almost as if I'm chopping away at what I need to get done. And so it helped me kind of relax a little bit. So me doing that little bit, not that it was a whole lot, but me doing that little bit last night, it gave me a sense of peace. And so now I'm moving, tracking towards progress. And so I think the last thing that I really learned from this whole experience was seeking the help of others. For myself, I don't know about you, but I tend to, again, be an island. And I like to do things, I like to do them by myself. I hate asking for help. And so I heard this quote maybe a couple months ago, and it really spoke to me because it said, successful people, what separates them is when they get to a point where they can no longer do it themselves, they seek help of others. They willing to hire a coach. They willing to get help from somebody else. If they don't know the answer, they're going to go find someone that can help them find it. And so that really spoke to me because in this moment, because the skills that are required of this level, I don't necessarily have them yet, but I know people that do. And so what I had to do is I had to reach out to people that could support me in helping me grow in these areas. So what I said, I need you to teach me to fish. That's what I said. It's a quote that says that, it's more helpful when you teach a man to fish instead of just giving him the fish. So I said, listen, I need you to teach me to fish. So T-Boy, shout out. She's helping me getting organized. And also she's holding me accountable to that, which I can appreciate. And then also, Joy and Pain, she helping me learn how to write PD. She's supporting me and helping me do that. And so I just want to say a shout out to y'all. I appreciate y'all. So I really appreciate that. But what it really taught me was that you don't have to do this by yourself. What I recognize is that I had to leverage the strength of people around me to help me grow in maybe areas I'm not as strong in yet. So let's wrap this thing up in a nice little bow. So the first thing, usually when we're feeling overwhelmed and we freaking out, it's because more than likely it means that we're leveling up. We're in unfamiliar territory. I've never been here before. This requires a new version of who I've been before. And that's okay. That's a good thing. That means that's growth. And then I think the second thing that I learned is that I had to do a brain dump. What's really going on? It goes back to awareness. Let me put pen to paper what's really happening and going on in my head so I can start working on it. And then I think the next thing is a plan. What is my plan of attack? How am I going to do this? How can I get this done? And then if we talk about the next step, prioritize. What is the next best thing? Mount Everest was not climbed in one day. It happens, it's a process, one step at a time. And then lastly, leverage the strengths of those around you. Seek help from other people. You don't have to do this alone. Life is not meant to be done by itself. We don't know everything. So yeah, those are our tidbits, words of wisdom. Be bold, be brave, be you, because you are beautiful. Much love and light. Have a great week. Get out there and do those mental push-ups. It's the Dorky Jock signing off, baby, and I am out.